everyone, I am Dayantani Amor Retes, taking a Bachelor of Special Needs Education teacher is come from Learner-Centered Classroom. The content of this video on how to organize and manage the Learner-Centered Classroom. The first thing we need to do is room structuring. To organize the classroom, we need to have flexible setting arrangement. Clean, well-lighted, well-ventilated, noise-free, and fresh classroom. Inside your classroom, we need to establish discipline. And a part of establishing discipline is to, of course, simplify stating the rules, policies inside your classroom. That is why, as a future teacher, before you starting a school year, we need to see to it that you already make a list of the things that your student will do and your students should not do. Or the program that they call is orientation. This is the day that you stipulate the rules and regulation inside the class. Another is routine. Routine is a series of activity that you will do inside the classroom. Classroom routine is the bounded in certain classroom. Teacher, what is example of routine? For example, is you are the grade 1 teacher. Usually, my teacher make this when I was grade 1. In a flag ceremony, you are in the line. In that line, you're going to walk down in your classroom that you form a line so that there's no student running in the hallways and avoid accident. This is the part of, another part of routine is transition. As you are a teacher, we need to know how to transition on your lesson to another. Is to avoid dull moment of your student. Another routine of student is we need to teach on how the proper way of submission in their paper. The best example, when you are elementary teacher, the student is panicking to submit their output. That is why we need to teach the students or have in the routine what is the proper submission of their output. Therefore, this is smooth way of submitting their paper and it should be practiced. Another way to manage and organize your learner-centered classroom. As a teacher, you need to ask to lead an activities. Of course, to lead an activities, part of your routine, we need to teach our students signal inference or hand gesture. This is the example. If they have a question of your student, they will little fingers up like this. The next is if they want to answer your question, they up their 5 hands like this. The third one is if they want to comment about the lesson, they up their hands and form a C like this. The last one, if they want to go to the bathroom, they will form their hands like this and like. Therefore, they will use this one that you will be able a smooth sailing class. Why? Because there will be less distractions. And now, how to establish classroom routine? First, we need to explain your routine in the class. Secondly, have students practice the routine. Lastly, implement the routine in their daily activities. As a future teacher, we need to consider the differences of our students when it comes of aspects of social, emotional, physical, and even intellectual of our students. Because in that way, they could be able to have a harmonious relationship of them, which really build a positive atmosphere inside in our classroom. What is intellectual? The intellectual, of course, we still in our mind that students do really have their own way in learning. That is why, as a future teacher, we need to consider that one, of course, if we consider they really feels students that their teacher is considerable. Therefore, there is a positive perspective of these students towards in your class. The second is social. What is social? As a teacher, we need to let your students work with their classmates, and we need to provide feedback to your students that they will even to know that what are the things that they make wrong or right. The third is emotional. What is emotional? As a teacher, emotional aspect of your students, we should really value that. That is why we tend to go the emotion of the student for us to be able to know how to reach them out and how to motivate them. The last one is physical. What is physical? As a future teacher, physical is a part of positive atmosphere of the classroom. Is having a contact with your student physically. Therefore, as you are a future teacher, you need to consider the intellectual, social, emotional, and physical aspect. It is not just important that they will have very creative and well ventilated, well lighted, and well structured classroom. As a future teacher, it is important need to know safety relationships and teaching and learning aspects inside your classroom. The most important thing to build positive atmosphere inside your classroom, it will make you happy as a teacher. This is my authentic way of organizing and managing learner-centered classroom. That's all. Thank you.